Expressions are the visual and unspoken language of a character's personality. A cartoonist needs a solid illustrative vocabulary to show off their character's distinct personalities. We're going to take a look at 12 popular expressions. I've drawn an example of Eddie the Face making the expression, and I've pulled two more from popular television shows and animated films. Hopefully you're familiar with some of them, and it'll give you an idea of how professional cartoonists put expressions to use. A happy face invites a sense of trust with its alert eyes and friendly eyebrows. A happy character gives off a trusting vibe. Many main characters have a smiling, resting face because it makes them more likable. Dipper and Mabel, the 12-year-old protagonists from the show Gravity Falls, are drawn happy as a symbol of their good nature and youthful enthusiasm. The lead characters in Ren and Stimpy show a different kind of happy. Their expressions are exaggerated to the point where they seem a little harder to trust. Ren, the one on the left, has uneven eyes and his eyebrows look like they're being physically pulled back across his head. His friend Stimpy's smile is curled up so much it's turning back on itself, and it's hard not to be distracted by the tongue popping out of the corner of his mouth. Both are examples of happy characters. Content is a wide expression with broad, soft, curving lines. Think of it like rainbows all over a character's face. Notice the upper lip is shortened to move the mouth higher on the face. A content expression can express a sense of fulfillment. This is Pops from the regular show. He seems totally fulfilled chomping away on that gross hamburger. He's a pretty content guy. Lisa Simpson from the show The Simpsons has a sense of contentment that's a little more complex because it's connected to her instrument, the saxophone. Her expression of contentment comes from her self-expression. It's often the case that a feeling of contentment can be mistaken for happiness, but contentment has the potential to be a more profound implication about the character's personality. Anticipation is all about the pupils. In your drawing, you want to open them way up as if they're looking for something beyond the horizon. Cartoonists use anticipation when a character needs to show off their personal expectations or a feeling of hope. SpongeBob SquarePants is not a smart character, but his big eyes, exaggerated cheeks, and grin imply that he can sense a better future for himself. The faces of the Teen Titans are showing anticipation, but the way the artist has reduced the details of their facial features implies that in this world of superheroes, these characters are a little more immature. Realization, to me, is a speechless expression. The character's eyes are big, taking on everything they see, and the mouth is small, often placed low on the face. An expression of realization comes about at that moment when reality finally sets in. A character's limited point of view of the world around them can be brought to light through a moment of realization. The roadrunner chasing Coyote never feels the pull of gravity until he takes a beat to realize its effect on his actions. In this scene from a Charlie Brown Christmas special, Charlie Brown himself is realizing the needles on the tiny Christmas tree are not as strong as they seem. The subtle metaphorical realizations of a character are often what give us an empathetic feeling towards their misadventures. Upturned eyebrows sitting on top of the eyes and a half-knowing smile work perfect for embarrassment. If you're using color, blush cheeks can help. You can see embarrassment on a character's face when they're feeling uncomfortable or overwhelmed with a situation. Pearl from Steven Universe is a hero with low self-esteem who can get embarrassed when she's feeling inferior to the powerful beings she hangs out with. Aladdin is another out-of-place hero whose expression of embarrassment sometimes works to his advantage and shows off the character's boyish charm. Tears are not necessary to show sadness, but make sure to scrunch up the features right around the character's nose. Lower the upper lids as if they're heavy, well the eyes with tears if you want, or simply lift the lower eyelid. The mouth of the character should turn down, of course, but also look like it's holding something back. A sad expression shows overwhelming disappointment and also a feeling of helplessness. For some characters, it can be an embarrassing feeling too. Eeyore doesn't cry much, but he has the saddest eyes around. He also loves to talk about his sadness, thus the open, droopy mouth. Sadness is a powerful expression, and even a character like Batman, who is iconically confident, can be reduced by sadness with a simple turning of the little pointy eyes. So flip those triangles upside down. Don't be sad, Batman. You're still super rich. Shock stretches a character's face upward as well as downward. The key to shock is the turn-down mouth. A look of shock shows that a character has been caught off guard by a sudden and disturbing occurrence. Lilo and her alien friend Stitch both have looks of shock on their face. Stitch, the little blue alien guy, is a more overly dramatic character, and his mouth stretches even further down than his friend Lilo's. Katara from Avatar: The Last Airbender is drawn in a slightly more realistic way than Lilo and Stitch. So the artist uses light to exaggerate her expression even further. Fear is like shock times 10. You want to widen the mouth until it's a gaping, dark hole taking up the bottom third of the character's face. Then stretch the eyes, and you can even add emotive lines around these facial features if it suits your style. We understand fear more than any other emotion. Shaggy and Scooby are the biggest scaredy cats in the cartoon universe, but their expressions are so silly we can't really relate to their fear. In The Lion King, Simba shows real fear. His expression is so powerful, we don't even need to see the scary thing he's looking at to understand how afraid he is. Confidence is a focused expression. The eyebrows are lowered, and often the mouth is turned up as if the character is thinking, "You have no idea how awesome I am." A confident character presumes they're the best at what they do. Maui is a demigod from Disney's Moana, so he can't help but radiate confidence and assume he's superior to the mere mortals he's meeting. Rainbow Dash from My Little Pony also has godlike power, plus a competitive streak that makes her confidence look almost sinister. Greed is a sinful expression, where both the eyebrows and corners of the mouth are pulled back to their full extent. A greedy character has an excessive desire for something. Ursula knows she has the upper hand over the Little Mermaid, and she isn't afraid to put her greed on full display. Scrooge McDuck, on the other hand, knows his greedy expression must be hidden if he's going to get what he wants. Anger is often shown as a bottled-up emotion, and like sadness, it reads best when all the features of the face are squeezing themselves towards the center. That means to bring in the front corners of the eyebrows and the pupils of the eyes. Here's anger from Pixar's Inside Out. This expression is all about heavy eyebrows, which is probably why the character design has no real forehead. He's all brow. Here's Raven, a half-demon hero from Teen Titans. You'll notice her hairline and even the way her hood frames her face implies that, even when she's not feeling particularly angry, the expression is still there on her face. Furious is an emotion that burns out fast, and since it comes and goes so quickly, it's a great expression to push to its limits. The obvious feature of a furious expression is the Mad Dog-style mouth. Showing teeth always helps with making the character feel more primal and violent. The other key to furious is the dark, sunken eyes. If you can take your eyes off Captain Hook's flowing black mane of hair, you'll notice the dark circles under his eyes. And I saved my favorite character for last, one of the coolest villains of all time, Cruella de Vil. This is her at her most furious. Notice how all the lines on her face lead toward that scrunched up nose at the very center. I love this drawing. Of course, there are so many more expressions we could dig into, but this is enough to get you started. A little pro tip, mix and match emotions to create more unique characteristics. For example, here's Fiona from Adventure Time showing a mix of anger and sadness.